Hi everyone, it is Laura from Hyperstamper and I am rounding off 2023 with a few more journals. This one here is 1939. It is called The Yearling. And the only thing I did to this cover was add this antique door pull, which is got the bakelite handle here, brass fixtures. It is stunning. The print, the original print on the cover is as vibrant as it ever was. It is stunning. The little boy holding the deer and the red rocking chair. It's got the original spine that I haven't touched except to put an eyelet in so that it would hold this nice little cluster of vintage jewels. I've got all different kinds there that I hoped would match the cover very nicely. So yeah, the really cool thing about this is there is this punch out, and that tells us that it was once from a library, and when they discard a book, they punch it to leave this hole so that people know it is no longer in circulation at the library. Now this book is 7 inches by 9¼ inches, so it's a big one. Let's have a little look inside. At some point, someone, probably the library, put some tape in here to keep this page in place. Now, whoever purchased this book can send me a note asking to have that covered if they prefer. I wanted to leave it in its original form. It's got the original library book pocket here and the due date card up here that would have been stamped. And then inside, and oh, look at this beautiful illustration of the deer. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. And then inside, I just put this little children's book image that I turned into a little pocket. And inside is a vintage book map illustration that you can journal on. It's kind of fun. You can also journal on the back there. There we go. Tuck that right back in. And this, again, is the original book page. This has a little tear in here. I was going to Scotch tape it, but I left it. I may still try to find some vintage Scotch tape. I do keep a little collection of that and try to put that on there, but I don't want to make it worse. But I love that it has the library stamps. At some point when it changed libraries from the Hamilton Public to the Mountain Branch, they stamped in 1953. So that's when that changed hands. And there's the publication date up there. And then I added this lovely vintage crochet doily here, and another children's book pocket with 1930s Monopoly money. Nice little handcrafted crochet thing here. And that inside there is the seal of a mason jar. It's a craft they used to do in the 50s. This is just a little booklet of antique papers on a vintage how-to watercolor page. And 1955 stamp collector's page pockets here, and a photo from the 1940s. Look at how pretty this family is. It is lovely. And over here, I've added this wonderful children's illustration. The little goblin. I'm not sure if it's a little boy in a costume sitting. Oh, it's a play. Okay, I get it now. It only took me 3 years. Yep, so this is a play of kids doing Alice in Wonderland, obviously. Antique paper on the back. And this is an antique book jacket that I turned into a pocket. It's a really cool, 2 different kinds of vintage cards. One's a Niagara Falls, and one is this very unusual set that had a whole different kind of king and queen and jack in it, which I love. 1940s children's book page, and there's the Cycles of the Moon, which is really cool. 1940s Beacon Lodge roll call book. And we have a plate here from the early 1900s and a vintage botanical page and 1953 roll call book there. There we go. Sorry, it wasn't the 40s, it's the 53. And there's another wonderful little children's book. Look how cute. So cute. And everything in here is authentic antique and vintage ephemera, except just these few tea-dyed pages that I've added for more journaling space. Vintage sewing pattern. And here I've made a little pocket. Oh, no, sorry, not a pocket. This one was just to keep this sturdy because piano player roll has all these slits in it to play the notes. And it was a little fragile down here, so I laid that down flat. This is a plate from a book, and it has a print on it. And this is from the 30s. And that is an illustration from Paris, or a painting, sorry, copy of a painting. And this is from a photography magazine from 1943. Look at the photography in 1943. Holy cow, it's beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And that was during the war, so there's some pretty cool photos on the back of that one. And really cool vintage stamps here from all different countries. And I made that pocket out of a Bobbsey Twin book page. Early 1900s, medieval costumes book. And this one is from the 1400s. Look at how cute is that? Not cute, it's actually stunningly beautiful. But I've seen these hats in, you know, the Cinderella and such. Kind of fun seeing where it came from. And that's the original onion paper too. There's the flip side of that page. And this is another plate of a painting. Another piano paper roll here, and another pocket I did out of children's book page with some antique paper in that one as well. And that pocket is also made out of antique paper. Just some lace trim there. And this is a plate from this book, The Yearling, Jody Finds the Fawn. Look at the colors on that. Not bad for almost 100 years old, let me tell you. Another wonderful little children's book page here, and I turned this one into a journaling spot as well, so you can fold that up or keep it full. And this here is from the early 1900s, and that is a business card that would have been posted. The Holland Agricultural Society, is that neat? And even the exact time they would have put on that. So it's sort of like how they used to text at the turn of the 19th century. And 1950s bingo card, 1950s store receipts here, and some Canadian birch bark on that reverse pocket. And this came from the 1890s book In Farm and Field. Look at this lovely plate here, small plate of a butterfly, a bunch of butterflies and a little bumblebee here. And I put some antique scrapbook paper on the back. And this is from the 1800s. It disintegrated out of a book, so I kept it. And it's just that beautiful marbled paper, and it's still attached to its first page there. So that is really precious. You can actually do a lot if you do mixed media art. Little photograph here. It's not the best quality. It's better in person when you see it. It's got this lovely lady. It sort of looks like she's at a cottage. And then a nice little journaling spot under here. And under here, fun little clusters here, and a vintage hanky. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Can have lots of fun with that as well. And this little pocket here has some, this came out of a vintage postal stamp collection book, and that you can sort of see the imprint of the stamps from the other side that was touching the page. But it's this wonderful graph paper, which I love old graph paper when it's real. And that'll just get tucked in there. Recipes, vintage recipes. And look, here's another wonderful plate from this book. Oh my gosh. I wish, you know what? I kind of now wish I had kept this and framed it. It is, the colors are just as beautiful, probably more beautiful when you see it in person. Just gorgeous, just as beautiful as they were forever ago. There's another little deer. I tried to hide little deers as I searched my collection for deers. I am running low on deers. But look at these stamps out of this 1955 stamp collection page. There's Spain on this side, and then we've got all, oh, look at these beautiful Spanish stamps over here. They're lovely. Antique music sheet. Here's another one of these public school geography book pages, the Earth. And there's another stamp. Another one. Woohoo! This came from a 1923 French book. And, there we go. There's another deer. And this was from a souvenir booklet, a souvenir photo book. And these are all places, I believe, in the state of Washington. Look how pretty. Love that very much. And finally, another plate from the book. So I've collected, there weren't many plates in this book that were appropriate to put in a journal. A lot of quite violent scenes of, you know, hunting and men having fist fights. But this is really quite a lovely one of a little boy being taught a lesson. And that brings us to the end. And that is going up on Etsy momentarily. It's hyperstamper.etsy.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Maybe turn on your notifications so that you can see them before others do. That sounds awful. I know I've been getting a lot of notices that they're selling quickly, but it may just be the time of the year. So please stick with me, and I'll see you soon.